Okay, everybody, welcome back to another live stream, and we have a destructive storm here that's coming right down I-70. So, welcome everybody. Glad to see you all for another live stream. Let's make sure we're sharing this live stream. There has been history of 70-mile-per-hour winds with this storm, so we need to make sure we're sharing this live stream with as many people as possible, as we do have strong damaging winds coming right down I-70, and it's in a very populated area where this storm is headed. So welcome everybody, glad to see you guys here. We are back for another live severe weather coverage right here on the TKW Facebook page. Your local weatherman is going to be here walking you through this storm that's making its way downtown towards the St. Louis metro area. So let me just get a couple things. Everything is ready, but we're going to move the cameras around because we did not have them in the right spots. But welcome everybody. If you're just tuning in, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch and a considerable severe thunderstorm warning as well for 70-mile-per-hour winds that are coming right down I-70. So we have 70-mile-per-hour winds that are coming down right down I-70. And yes, I said right down a lot of times, but it's okay. So let me just get the camera network switched up. We don't really have a lot of cameras out there because MoDOT has not fixed the cameras yet. So that is something also to make sure you guys are aware of here. So let me just make sure, but as you guys are tuned in, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that has been producing damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour. Lots of tree damage has been reported. Lots of power lines have been snapped as well out in central Missouri, and that is what's coming our way right down I-70. So we're just getting all the cameras moved around here. Make sure we have full visual of this storm that is making its way through. That's going to be making its way through the area. So welcome everybody. Glad to see you guys here. And make sure we're sharing the live stream as well. I want to make sure that everyone is aware of what's happening because the last couple storms, especially in the Ozarks, some people have been caught off guard. So I want to make sure that we share this with everyone that we know to make sure they're going to stay ahead of this storm. So it looks like we just have a couple, yeah, we don't have a lot of views here, so we'll just have to deal with that. But let's take a look here. So we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for the Warrenton area. So Warrenton, Jonesburg, Montgomery City, Hawk Point, Troy is in this. Just north of Herman, but we'll throw in Herman, and it's currently over the Fulton area. High Hills also in this as well. And this is moving directly, like I said, directly down I-70 here, and it's moving east at 45 miles per hour. So I would expect eventually downstream of this holds together that we'll get another warning for the Wentzville, O'Fallon, St. Charles, Chesterfield, Wildwood area as this continues to push off to the east here. Now, we did have a couple other storms down here near the Redbud, Sparta, Pinckneyville area. That is slowly moving off to the east as well. But the main reason why we are live right now is because we have a considerable severe thunderstorm warning that is capable of producing 70-mile-per-hour winds. This is serious, everyone. This is why we hopped on live. This is a serious situation. Not trying to cause panic, but we have lots of confirmed reports of power lines, tree damage. Everything has been happening near the Columbia area, Fulton. A lot of issues going on, lots of trees down like that, and it's pushing our way. And the National Weather Service moments ago says this storm is on track to continue along I-70 to the St. Louis area. So they are expecting that it's probably going to make it to the St. Louis area. You can see it is a strong storm. We'll put the velocities on there as well. Very strong winds with the storm, up to 70s. Parts of the velocities have been up to around 80 miles per hour. So it might not be translating to the surface, but the radar at about 4,000 feet is picking up winds near 82, 85 miles per hour, and that's going to continue towards our direction. So I wanted to make sure we're on live here ahead of time because it's not going to take that long until it makes it to our area. So like I said, this is a pretty good, like, serious situation with damaging winds. Power outages are going to be likely. Not seeing any tornado threat with this at the current moment. National Weather Service mainly warning this for 70-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail with this storm as it continues to move off to the east. And if you're just tuned in, we just said a few moments ago, the National Weather Service feels a little bit confident that this will make it all the way into the St. Louis County area. So that is what we have going on. Welcome, everybody. How are you guys doing? Glad to see you guys. How's your evening, afternoon going? We are monitoring this considerable, basically means, if you're curious what a considerable severe thunderstorm warning means, is 70-mile-per-hour winds. The standard severe thunderstorm warnings for 60-mile-per-hour winds. So it's basically the one up from the base severe thunderstorm warning, and they're usually only issued if we have multiple confirmed reports or radar is confirming that we're seeing 70-mile-per-hour winds. So like I said, it's a pretty serious situation. And even right now, this right along I-70 and north of I-70, headed right towards New Florence and eventually towards the Warrenton area, we're still seeing 66, 70-mile-per-hour winds with this storm. So they don't really issue these considerable severe thunderstorms lightly. Normally, it's just a generic severe thunderstorm warning, which is yellow, but they did upgrade this to a considerable due to the damage that has been caused in Columbia. If we can get any of that shown on here, we'll make sure to bring that to you live. But a pretty serious situation that is ongoing out in central Missouri that is headed towards the St. Louis region, and we need to be prepared. So if you haven't got everything tied up, secured up outside, you might want to run and do that real quick because we could have some damaging winds that could make things flying objects around the St. Louis area. Let's see, do you think Fenton will get hit? We're down in Cape Girardeau area right now on vacation. I do think Fenton does have a chance that they could get some impacts from the situation, but we'll have to monitor it. But the National Weather Service feels confident that it's continuing to move down towards the east. So it's going to get close. We're not quite sure the exact track. So that is what we're watching. Ashley says, do you think there will be tornadoes? Right now, I don't really see any convincing that there will be a tornado. Good thing is that we have a severe thunderstorm watch, not a tornado watch. So, the tornado threat was outlined and, it was talked about, but I really see, like we mentioned earlier today, is mainly going to be a damaging wind threat, but there is a low chance, it's not zero, but I think there's more wind. I'm not really too concerned about a tornado. If we get a tornado, I will be probably quite surprised if that actually happens. So, but what we are monitoring is, even though we do have the severe thunderstorm warning, we have a severe thunderstorm watch that goes till midnight. So we do have a severe thunderstorm watch till midnight. Probability of 10 or more severe weather events is 40%. So not expecting widespread severe weather is what that means. Hail is 20%, so not really seeing a hail threat. And like I said, mainly a wind threat. Tornado percentage is 10%, which that is quite low. So that is what we're watching here. So we're continuing to watch this storm. And like I mentioned, if you're just joining, this is a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. This is not your generic thunderstorm warning that you can just say, oh, we will be fine. No, this is producing 70-mile-per-hour winds. There's multiple reports coming in on my screen here that there is trees down almost, it feels like, every road in Columbia. So lots of tree damage. So that's what we're monitoring. We're going to be here live walking you through, make sure we get through this together. But good thing is this is not looking like a severe like a widespread tornado outbreak, but we will see a couple severe storms as we see right now ongoing. Sharon says, could it settle down before hitting southern Illinois? It is likely that that could happen. Not too sure if it will, but that's something we'll monitor. Your guys' severe thunderstorm watch kind of came from the storms earlier that produced a severe thunderstorm warning, and I think you got a little bit of damage over there too. So that's kind of what sparked the interest in your guys' severe thunderstorm warning or severe thunderstorm watch, but I would probably pay attention towards this storm coming right down I-70. It does have a potential, but there's no guaranteed at the moment. Appreciate all the likes on the stream so far, and if you don't mind, let's go ahead and share this stream. This pretty, serious situation, even though it's not a tornado event, but it is a windbag event. So damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour are possible coming right down I-70 into our area. And you can actually see a good visual of the storm coming through on, the bottom left-hand side here. And let me see if I can get that pulled up here with this new, I don't think, okay, we don't have it pulled up right now, but I will try to get that. We're going to get the 70 camera so we can take it full screen. We are monitoring the radar here, so don't you worry, we're not going to forget. But you can see, if we take a look, let's move the cameras around here. Don't mind me. So there is the storm that's moving right down 70 right there. Let's see, Stormy Gaddy Henry says, can you talk about Troy, north of Troy? North of Troy, they're not in a severe thunderstorm warning, but Troy proper is in a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. And I do believe north of Troy will see some damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour. So the Troy area, I do believe that you will see some type of impact with this storm. And this warning, by the way, it goes out for a while, but they want to have a lot of lead time on this storm as it's producing 70 mile per hour winds. So it goes for the next hour, but I do expect downstream warnings to be issued for our area, or continue to be issued for our area. So there's that storm that's moving in. We'll keep monitoring this camera as it gets closer. Also, something to note with this as well, it's starting to make a little bit turn to the north here, and that's very interesting here because it's almost tracking due east towards the Troy area, the heaviest part of the winds here. But everywhere in this line, even on this velocity product, we are seeing up to 60, 65, 70 mile per hour winds. So this warning, like I said, the winds are not calming down here. The winds are getting more broad, spread out, but the intensity does not look like it's calming down anytime soon. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do adjust the warning just a little bit north to cover North Detroit near Famous along Highway 61. So I wouldn't be surprised if they cover up there near the Brussels, Macville Cave over in that area. But like I said, this is a pretty serious situation. And also this monitoring the storm that's just popped up right over near the Harvester area. And remember, it's in a severe thunderstorm watch, so this could try to go severe. So that's something that we're going to have to be paying attention to. But currently, this heavy rain and looks like a little bit of lightning with the storm. But the main talk of the town is this storm that's coming right down I-70. And of course, if you have any reports, make sure you send them to me on the Facebook page or Messenger, however it's convenient, or in a post, and we'll make sure that we get that shown on the live stream. And if needed, we'll send it over to the National Weather Service just to make sure we get proper warning on these storms. So just checking a couple things here. Alrighty, so our alert bar, just check the alert bar there. So, yeah, this storm near the St. Charles, Maryland Heights area, this west of Maryland Heights, starting to blow up, and we're getting another storm initiation right near St. Peter's. So those are two areas to watch as well, on top of the strong line of storms that's moving east towards the Warrenton, Hawk Point, and basically Warrenton and Lincoln counties is where I will be watching right now. But we're still seeing very strong winds with this. Even at about 3,000 feet, we're still seeing strong, damaging winds with this storm. And we're still receiving damage reports from Boone County, Adrian County, in Missouri. So basically, we're seeing large trees blocking the road, power pole into a house, power lines down, transformer on fire. So this storm has been causing problems. So like I said, we need to make sure we're staying well aware with what's happening with this storm. Yeah, I'm not really liking what this storm is doing here. It's right along 141, so we'll get slot 3 and 141. So we'll get 141. Oh, the camera went out. That's why. Hello, John. Glad to see you here. We are just turning the cameras around to make sure we have. Yeah, it's getting very dark there. So there's the visual there on that one. So we do there. And I'm monitoring the cameras tonight, so don't worry. I'm just making sure everything's in the right place. So I apologize if there's a little bit of a gap. But we're just making sure that everything is ready to go with these storms. So we'll monitor that right there. Alrighty, so we got the storms coverage all around with the cameras here, and we're monitoring. This storm near Maryland Heights is something to watch here. It is growing intensity here. Winds are not right at the criteria for a warning, but I would monitor that. So that is something that we're going to be watching here. Christopher's right. Driving home right now. Let's see. Yeah, it's like right on top of 141. So let me check here. If you let's see. He's driving home. Yeah, he's gonna probably run into the storm from what his current location is. So nothing severe right now, but I think he'll be okay. But the main storm out here to the west is why we are live right now. Still producing damaging winds. Damaging winds still up to 60 miles per hour. They might lower this to a generic warning due to the velocities right at the severe warning criteria, but we're still seeing 60-mile-per-hour winds with this regardless. Nancy says most current local weather I see posted. Currently, we live in Wentzville and no updates anywhere. Dark to the west, thanks for updating us. Oh, you're very welcome. And like I said, we're always accurate, honest, and reliable, and we continue to follow that. That is our motto, and our policy is to always make sure we're reliable 24/7 when these storms come, to make sure you guys are well aware of what's happening. So, you know, let me go back to the storm near Maryland Heights. I know we have the warning out here that's getting close to the Warrenton and Troy area. We're watching that, but I really have my attention over into this storm. Not quite confident that it will go severe, but it is producing some non-severe thunderstorm wind gusts here just northwest of our studio. And we actually just heard thunder right over in the Creve Coeur area. So that is something that we're watching. And the bottom part of the camera is looking towards and in that storm over near right between the Creve Coeur Park, the Family Arena, the Hollywood Hotel, Hollywood Amphitheater. Over in that area is where that storm is, by the way. So this gets you a little bit of landmarks that is there. But the main storm that we're watching is towards Jonesburg and the Warrenton area. And I am waiting on to see what the National Weather Service has for any updates with this. But you can definitely see. Let's take a look at the traffic cameras here, and if I can take that live. And I think that's camera 2. Oh, no, not camera 2. Camera 4, that's kind of looking into that warning there. And it's a little bit gusty out there. Very heavy rain right now, but not really seeing, good thing is not really seeing a tornado threat at the moment. But there is some gusty winds up to 30 miles per hour within that storm. So lots of activities happening, and if you're just tuning in, we are monitoring. What brought us on the live stream is that we do have a considerable severe thunderstorm warning for the Warren and part of Lincoln County in Missouri for 70-mile-per-hour winds, and this has caused numerous damage out in central Missouri. Like we mentioned before, power poles have landed in houses, tree damage left and right over roads, flooding as well. So lots of stuff coming out of the Columbia area that is transitioning down I-70. So we are monitoring that. And we're also watching some development out in front of these storms for severe weather potential, but currently not seeing anything at the moment. Thank you, Nick. I do appreciate the follow. And let's take a look at the McDonald camera. You can actually, I love looking at this favorite part of the weather. Look at the left side of the camera here. You can see the rain curtains coming down from that storm in St. Louis County near the Maryland Heights area. Pretty cool sight there. So we have that at the bottom part of your screen there. Yeah, the camera system is working out fairly nice today. So we're going to change the bottom part. We're going to change the bottom camera here. Thank you, everyone. I do appreciate the likes. Hello, Teresa. Glad to see you. Welcome. So we are getting reports of 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts in St. Charles from this storm. So 30, 40-mile-per-hour winds. Nothing severe right now with this, but we are monitoring this for potential development. Lightning in the Creve Coeur Park area. Thank you. I do appreciate that. I appreciate all the reports. And like I said, if you have any pictures or videos, make sure you send them in to the Facebook page. We'll get you up here on the live stream. So I'm just going to move these cameras around. We're working on a better system to get the cameras, positioned faster, but it just wasn't ready yet. So that is something that we will be watching there. Let's get 141. Get the cameras on 141. Hello, Beth. Glad to see you. And let's take a look at, let's go to the traffic cameras. Let's take this off camera 2, 4. I don't know which one it is. I think it's camera 4. And once the camera comes back into frame here, you will see the trees blown around here. So you will see the trees. Yeah, so you can see this is the storm that's moving right into towards the St. Charles area, right along 141 right now. So you can see it's gusty. Nothing severe with this storm. But it is showing about 30, 40-mile-per-hour winds with this right now. Yeah, about 40-mile-per-hour winds is what we're seeing right here. And it looks about accurate on the live camera that we do have. Crystal Evans says, I knew where to go to get an update. Thank you. Oh, you're very welcome. I really do appreciate that. Brittany says, pop-up storm over the Maryland Heights right now. This isn't even the main storms to the west of us in St. Charles, according to your radar. That is correct. This is a storm that has popped out in front of this main line that is producing 70-mile-per-hour winds. We'll have to see how that acts. See if it'll calm down the storm that's off to the west. So we'll have to see how that plays in the factor. But this storm right over Maryland Heights here near St. Charles is just blowing up like a balloon. It is just going crazy right now. It has took an energy drink and it says, I am ready. And you can actually see here, look at the wind blowing the rain on the road here. It's hard to tell, but take a look here at the camera. You can see as we have the camera, this is right at 141 looking north. And it's very gusty. Look at the camera starting to shake right now. Let's keep this live here as it's moving through. Camera's going to go in and out. In and out burger. You guys like In and Out burger? They should build one in St. Louis. I think it'll get enough business. We need something better these days. Culver's is nice, but we need to change, everyone. Okay, let me not talk about food. Let's talk about these storms. Yeah, so it's very gusty is the main point here, everyone. But it's not currently severe. We're not seeing any updates from the National Weather Service about that. But like I said, like many of us are typing in the chat, it is very loud in the St. Charles or, north of Maryland Heights, headed right over the Bridgeton area right now. And you can see it in the live camera here. The live camera is not lying to us. Let's see if we can move it up a little bit. So you can see it's very heavy right now. Yeah, it's moving right on top of this camera right now. But it's remaining below severe limits, so you guys might think, oh, it needs a severe thunderstorm warning. Unfortunately, just the criteria, it has not met the criteria yet. But it is loud, it is very gusty there, but it's at the bottom part of the screen. And look at the right camera, at the right hand part of your screen. That is what it looks like from afar. But if you're just tuned in for the storm over St. Louis County, I'm happy to report no warnings right now for that. No warnings right now for the St. Louis County storm. The main storm that is in view right now, the only warning that we have is headed towards the Warrenton, Hawk Point, Innsbrook, Wright City, Troy, and is warned for 70-mile-per-hour winds with multiple damage has occurred out in central Missouri. So that is currently the only warning that we have on top of the severe thunderstorm watch that goes till midnight tonight. So these storms that are popping up in the St. Louis County area are in the severe thunderstorm watch. Let's see, Teresa said, my dogs are all scared. Yeah, I feel sorry for the pets. Says, oh, you miss when you live down in California. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Get the animal style fries. That's also pretty nice. It says, raining hard right now, Maryland Heights. Bob Lee says, big thunder at our house. Everyone driving, please be extra careful. Yes, we do have Christopher, my little brother Christopher just got off work. He's en route to his residence right now. And it looks like he's doing okay. He's right on top of the storm over here, I believe, if he has not already passed it. But we are in contact with my little brother Christopher. Make sure he's doing okay in the storm. He drives for a living, so it's just another day at the office, you know what I mean? So, but we'll report back when he makes it to his residence. So, make sure you put W in the chat because Christopher is doing great. So, but this storm is blowing up here. I think what's going to help it is it's fanning out. It's not really trying to get organized. So that is great. This storm, let me check the velocities on that. Doesn't look like it's weakening much out there off to our west here. Winds have come down a little bit. About, 55, maybe 60 miles per hour. So nothing too crazy with that. It's still a severe storm, but mainly watching all these storms starting to pop up like popcorn. I think the storms are convincing us they want to have movie night. Is anybody having movie night tonight with the storms rolling through? And it's kind of exactly on schedule of what we talked about. Prime time about between 4 to 10 p.m. And these storms are quite on schedule here. So, I want to show you guys something. I was a little bit late, but I just got told to take a look at the bottom left corner camera. And yeah, these storms, let's see, the camera has not updated. Yeah, so recent update from, yeah, there we go. Look at that storm moving in. Look at this, everyone. This is crazy. National Weather Service just updated us and says that they are still seeing 70-mile-per-hour winds with the storm. So they are wanting Warrenton, Hawk Point, Wright City, Troy area to make sure they're inside and away from windows. So if you know anybody in those areas, please make sure you share the live stream. It's going to get very windy over there. And this camera is in Warrenton. The Walmart's just off to the right hand side. Out there in the distance is, I believe, Tractor Supply and the Snooks out there, if I remember correctly. So if you know anybody in those areas, make sure you're sharing the live stream with them. I would really do appreciate it. So National Weather Service said with this warning right here is that it's still producing 70-mile-per-hour winds with this. And just got a new update. Yes, it's still holding together. So Warrenton, I would make sure inside and away from windows. Warrenton, Wright City, Innsbrook, Troy, Hawk Point, places along Highway 47 that connects through Warrenton. I would probably take your shelter because this is what's coming towards you. If you're in Warrenton, Hawk Point, this is what's coming towards your way. It does not look exciting. It does not look inviting. So, and the National Weather Service is still confident that there are 70-mile-per-hour winds with this. This does just not look, it does not look good. Brittany says, holy cow, the thunder and lightning is crazy. Yeah, I'm in Creve Coeur and nothing's happening here looking outside the window, but it is definitely loud. It is very loud, and you guys may actually hear it on the microphone with how loud it is. But look at that camera down in the left-hand corner of the screen here. And that is, if it holds together, this is also going to make its way into St. Charles County. Yes, that storm is very loud. We'll see if we can get a report from my little brother Christopher. He was just in the thunderstorm there, so we'll get an update on what he saw in there. But it looks like he has made it home to his residence, so that is great news, everybody. But this storm, this Warrenton storm, you can see it looks mean. There's a lot of wind in there. You might not be able to see it, but there's a lot of wind. So we're going to see how this camera takes it. Because look at these bright blues. These bright blues here are showing 60, 67, 70 miles per hour. I kind of like the sound of thunderstorms, but like sometimes the sound is like inconvenient at certain times. So that is also one thing there. Yeah, it looks like there's a couple other pages that just started to post about 30 minutes ago trying to catch up on the updates, so. But we are going to be here live as long as we are needed tonight. So the severe thunderstorm watch goes till midnight, and if we're needed, we will stay all the way till midnight. So we are not going anywhere. And we're also on YouTube, so if you want to check us out on YouTube and keep us up on the TV or on the background of your phone, that is also available. We are very, don't really want to say it too much in the live stream, but we are very close to 1 point or 1,200 followers. So the Warrenton storm is coming in. It's coming in, everybody. Warren, I would brace for impact here. for some strong gusty winds. You guys will be okay, but it's going to get very gusty. Yeah, still lots of damage coming from the Raleigh area. So let me check this. Let's see, I don't see it. Okay. So it looks like we got a video from Brittany here. We'll show this real quickly. Here's the video from Brittany over in the Maryland Heights area. Let me get, oh no, there's no tornado warning. I didn't mean to hit the wrong button, but yeah, look how gusty it is. Just below the severe limit criteria. But wow, very gusty. Very gusty, and I assume it's loud with the audio. Appreciate that, Brittany. And if you send a message, it's our producer that has read it. Oh, power just went out? Oh no. That is not good, Teresa. Because we still have more storms behind it. So, very strong winds down here. That has caught my attention. Yeah, that's something to watch, this storm headed towards the Eureka area. Like I said, there is a low tornado risk, but this, don't think it's too crazy right now. But the main thing is near the Warrenton. It's coming right into the Warrenton area. And look at that. Look at this, everybody. It's just, oh my goodness. It's just about to, we're going to probably watch this for a second for our Warrenton viewers. And everybody in Warrenton, or if you know anybody in Warrenton, make sure you tell them just to stay inside. We're okay on the videos. But the camera is shaking. You can see the rain coming in. You can see everything coming in, everybody. Oh, Teresa said the wind, or the power came back on. Here is that 70-mile-per-hour windstorm coming into Warrenton right now. Coming into Warrenton, 70-mile-per-hour winds. You can see it right here. It's about to take over the camera here any moment now. Yeah, and we just got a report. Shelf cloud is developing. So, like I said, very strong winds coming towards this camera, or it's actually about to take over this camera right now. Camera is starting to wobble. Camera is starting to wobble. They did downgrade this to 60-mile-per-hour winds now. So, correction, 60-mile-per-hour winds right now coming into the Warrenton area. So, it has downgraded just a little bit, everybody, but still need to be inside away from windows. And if you can see, look at the on-ramp. You can see the wind being pushed out. Like the rain being pushed east with the storm. So, like I said, very strong winds with this still moving into the Warrenton area. Yeah, 60-mile-per-hour winds still moving pretty healthy on the way through here. And this is the only warning that we have right now, everybody. This is the only warning that we have. You can see traffic is starting to slow down. So that also tells you that it's getting pretty nasty there. So, Wright City, you're up to bat. Troy, you're up to bat. So, let's get prepared, please. Let's take a look back at radar so you guys know what I'm talking about. Right here, Wright City, Innsbrook, Forestdale, Troy. They downgraded the 60-mile-per-hour winds, but it's still pretty serious, okay? It's still pretty serious right now. And let's make sure we're sharing this live stream. We need to make sure we're sharing this live stream. Even though we don't have a tornado warning, this can still cause power outages, everyone. Real quick, Christopher, my little brother, says it wasn't that bad of a drive. He said he's used to it. There were parts where he had his wipers on full blast. So that was the storm over St. Louis County. That's towards the airport right now. So, and he did make it back to his residence. So, but just another day at the office, he says. I have to adjust the camera because like it just sits too low, but it doesn't match with their thing right here. So we'll see how that works out. But right now you can see it's moving into Warrenton, kind of uptick in intensity here over the last little bit here. So might be producing some hail, but currently just on the north side of Warrenton right now. I do appreciate all the follows and the likes. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. And all the shares. Like I said, we don't do it for the money. We're here for you. We're here for you. Yeah, this storm looks like it's almost starting to go a little bit to the north here. I expect a new warning to be issued soon for this. But it's starting to create some outflow. So that might be a weakening sign. So we'll have to watch that. So it might be a weakening sign with that, but I'm not too confident right now. This storm is pretty healthy. We're still watching the storms around the St. Louis region near the Festus, Hillsborough, just south of Eureka. All these popcorn storms, we are watching those as well. Thunder rolling in and rain. Not seeing anything over the O'Fallon area, but it's just off to the west here. And very heavy rain. You can see the hazard lights on there. And this is over in the Warrenton area. We're going to get the Troy camera load up here. If I remember what it's called. Yeah, so we got the Troy camera being loaded right now. And we will put probably the 270. Yeah, 270 right at Washington. I believe like a little bit past like Johnny Londoff, that area. Not looking too good over there. So we're just getting the cameras around as we're showing you the Warrenton area. So there we go. So we just moved the cameras around. And let me take a look at the velocities here again. Yeah, velocities are still holding steady. But I will watch the Troy area. The Troy area has my biggest concern right now. So I wish they would, if you know anybody at the MoDOT area, oh, and thank you. We just hit 1,200 followers on the Facebook page. I really do appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. We just put 1,200 followers in the chat. 1,200 followers, everyone. We just hit 1.2, 1,200 followers. I really do appreciate that. Never thought I would be able to say that. I can't even speak right now. So, but let's not get distracted by that. We'll celebrate that later, but I really do appreciate that. So, I assume the National Weather Service is attempting to draw a warning here. I do think that this could get extended. Or should I say, I'm not surprised if it gets extended. So, it is starting to move a little bit to the north here. Like, it was going down I-70, and now tracking, like, right near Moscow Mills, Wright City, South Troy, which I think is interesting. So those places right there, north of the Wentzville, I will put Wentzville, Flint Hill, right along Route U where it meets Highway 61. I would watch that area. Looks like it's trying to turn a little bit to the northwest instead of tracking east. National Weather Service has it moving southeast. I'm not sure where they got that from. John says currently driving through Overland to Maryland Heights and it's pouring. Oh yes, that's at the bottom camera here. It is going wild over there, but luckily there is no severe warning for that, which we are thankful for. So it is loud. It is very heavy rain, but just take it slow. Just take it slow and everything will be okay. Yes, 1,200 followers. Yes, that is amazing. Right before my birthday, too. Isn't that crazy? Right before my birthday. If you guys didn't know, my birthday's on Sunday. You guys will know. I will post about it. Don't worry. You guys will know. Just in case you guys forget. So, curious to see what the National Weather Service is thinking about this. We have not seen any updates, which is good. Which is good. It's always good when we don't see any new updates from the National Weather Service. But I'm interested to see because this warning is starting to go the other way of the warning. So we don't have permission, but there is a nice beefy shelf cloud in Lincoln County right now. Wow, I appreciate the 37 likes, 9 shares. That is crazy, everyone. A lot of standing water on the roadways that don't drain well. If you're able to get a picture of that, we'll try to send it to National Weather Service, see if we can get some flash flood warnings if they meet the criteria. So, hey everyone, since we're a little bit of a lull, I would expect a new warning to be reissued for over the Troy area, Moscow Mills. They may add the Wentzville, St. Paul, Winfield, Old Monroe, Chain Rocks, Ethelyn. So I would just be on alert for that. Not, nothing issued right now, but it's really just, it's not moving southeast like the National Weather Service says. It says it's moving southeast at 45 miles per hour. But hey, everyone, can we agree that it's moving a little bit to the northwest? A little bit to the northwest and east. So, okay, we got a new warning, not for the section that I thought. So not the section that I thought was going to get warned. I thought it was going to be this bottom part, but we do have one. It kind of saw Wentzville and got a little bit of scared. You guys put up a shield, so it turned to the left a little bit. And we do have a new warning for the Ellsbury, Winfield, Foley, Hardin, and Illinois, Cantsville, Bashtown. Once again, for Troy, and this is for 60-mile-per-hour winds. No hail, this 60-mile-per-hour winds. Oh wow, see, this is a great photo, everybody. This is let me let me I don't want to forget your name. I believe it's Stormy. Wait, hold on. Facebook is lagging. We love when Facebook lags. This is from. Oh, I think I lost it. Hey Stormy or Kanan or hey Stormy, can you resend the picture through? It didn't go through all the way. Here is the Troy area. It's about to go over to Troy. You can see the trees are very gusty right now. We're going to try to get that photo loaded, but not quite sure what happened through the process there. This Okay, we got it coming through in just a second, but let's watch the Troy area. This is currently going over Troy. We have reports of 40-mile-per-hour winds, but it has definitely changed directions. It has certainly changed directions, and it looks like it's just going to go right near the Wentzville area. I think this area below the warning, you can see at the bottom part here as we're watching the Troy camera, could also use a warning as well. Mike says, happy early birthday, sir. A reliable TKW forecast is always a present to us. I really do appreciate that. Thank you for the happy birthday wish. Of course, I have strong dedication to this weather page, so we will still have all the updates as usual. All right, so here is the picture from I just saw the name and then I forgot. From Stormy. Here is near north of Silex in Missouri. And let's see if we can take this live here real quickly. Okay. There it is, everyone. And let me see if we can get that. There we go. So that is what you call a shelf cloud, everybody. That is a really good photo. Nice farm that you have out there. Ashley says, yikes, I am in Winsfield, just south of Highway 70. Oh, happy belated birthday. Happy belated birthday, Teresa. And I appreciate the happy birthday as well. This storm here, that's just north of the Winsfield area, has a little bit of a hook. Not too much of a hook to issue a tornado warning, but it's trying to do something here. See, at the Troy area, I'll try to draw it to help you guys a little bit better. But really cool photo that we just see right down here. See how it comes down and you can see it tries to hook inside there. That is something that we're watching, but there's no tornado possible tag or anything like that. South of 70 in Winsville, so far it's looking okay right now, south of Winsville. This threat has immediately saw the St. Louis area and was like, nope, not today. So that is what we want, but it is very unfortunate for places up near the Troy area. And speaking of Troy, let's go back to the camera. Let's check on that. And doesn't look like the storm has made it there yet. Does not look like the storm has made it there. But it is interesting that the National Weather Service has not made an update yet. So let's check in a couple of reports here. And just like what I thought here. New severe thunderstorm warning. Whoa, whoa, look at this. Hey everyone, if I can get it quickly, I don't think I can. Or let me see. Wait for the camera to update. We'll get the camera to update. But look at this. While we get the camera to update, new severe thunderstorm warning for O'Fallon, Winsville, St. Charles, New Mally. It covers a lot of people, everyone. Chesterfield, St. Charles for 60-mile-per-hour winds. We're not seeing the hail. A huge area. Lots of people in this warning. Up to 1 million people. 1 million people, and we have 16 people watching right now. We need to make sure we're sharing the live stream and let them know that 60-mile-per-hour winds are coming to the area. Look how cool this is. This real quickly, I know we have a severe thunderstorm warning, but I just want to show you. Look at this cool view in Warrenton. How you don't really see this too often, but isn't it very cool, everyone? So, like I said, if you're just tuning in, new severe thunderstorm warning for the St. Charles, Chesterfield, Wildwood, O'Fallon, Winsfield, St. Charles area. And that is going to go, it's a long warning, till 8:45. So that's about 46 minutes right now. So 46 minutes this goes for. And this is just for 60-mile-per-hour winds. We're not seeing any hail with this right now, but I guess they're warning it because the velocities here are still in the range of 60 miles per hour. Okay, so the hail has new update from the National Weather Service. They do believe there's two different sections. So there's one that's going to be moving down 70 with 60-mile-per-hour winds and one moving towards the northeast. So those are the two areas that will have 60-mile-per-hour winds. We're not seeing any hail, not seeing any tornado possible tags, just wind only. Just wind only, everybody. And we just got a video and a couple pictures in from Ashley over in the Winsville area. So let's take a look at this. Yeah, you can definitely see the storm is rolling in. Wow, look at that. That is very nice. Oh, wow. Yeah, that is a very nice video. You guys see that? Looks like, do we have, yeah, here we go. Here we go. Look at this shelf. Wow. Hey, Ashley, this is great. This is like picture perfect right here. Look at this. This is the shelf cloud moving in towards the Winsville that just got warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Doesn't look intense, but still looks pretty good here. So look at these pictures. Very nice. And if you have any pictures or videos, make sure you send them in to the Facebook page. That is great. I really like those. I really like that. And we just got a video. She is on it in the camera department. So look at this storm moving in towards the Winsville area. Hey, Ashley, we almost need a camera at your residence. Because that is like a perfect spot right there. I almost will forget that I am live streaming and just stare out the window if I was over there. But National Weather Service says this little line down here, you see this line, everyone? Look at this. Even though there's no storms necessarily in the entire warning, there is still gusty winds on this bottom part that's bowing out. So let's take a look back at the radar, get a broad picture of what's going on. Everything over in the downtown St. Louis, North St. Louis is not severe. Okay? Everything's okay out there. Everything is okay. So it's the storms down in Waterloo. We have not been paying a lot of attention because not a whole lot is going on. So if we're not seeing it in your area, that means that's a good sign. That's a good sign if, if I'm not seeing your area. So that is good. So if I'm not mentioning your area, you are okay. Oh, let me turn this down. And if you're just tuning in, we have technically 3 severe thunderstorm warnings. We do have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings, mainly 2, to be honest with you. We have one up towards Ellsbury, Hardin, and then we have one for most of St. Charles County, if not all, and St. Louis County to Wildwood, Chesterfield, St. Charles, O'Fallon, only warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds, okay? 60-mile-per-hour winds. The Winsville area, you guys are in the warning as well for 60-mile-per-hour winds. And thanks for reminding me because we are going to change the cameras around. We should have probably done that already. But the view out in Warrenton, the bottom left-hand camera, that just looks so nice. Oh, someone got pulled over. Or something happened. Somebody make sure we're not speeding out there, everybody. It's not worth it. It's not worth the speeding ticket, okay? If you get pulled over by state, it's really not, you don't have high likely chances of getting out of that one. So, non-wind related damage. It looks like a large tree on the ground in Warrenton from a lightning strike. So, like I said, lightning's out there as well, even if we don't have tree damage. But 60-mile-per-hour winds are rolling right down Highway 70. So even though it doesn't look like a lot, we are still having some gusty winds with this. Yeah, you guys have a great view over there, Ashley. That would be nice if we could get a weather camera over there. That's almost like a wallpaper. Wow. Do you guys hear that? I'm not sure if you guys saw me get shocked there by the thunderstorm, but it struck something nearby. We're over in the Creve Coeur area, and we're gonna get the ring camera. We're gonna get the ring camera set up so you guys can see what it looks like outside our studio. And that's one thing that, the reason why I cover the area that I do, because I'm in the same area as you guys. So we're all in this severe thunderstorm situation and the severe weather together. I'm not in a off-site location, if that makes sense. Let me make sure. Oh, okay, so looks like we're having difficulty with that, so that's unfortunate. But you can see the storms are bubbling up all around the area. 60-mile-per-hour winds are still coming down Highway 70. I know the view looks very nice in the Troy area. I mean, the Warrenton area. Look at that. Here is up in the Troy area right now. Trees are not moving a whole lot. It's more heavy rain. It looks like the winds have died down over in the Troy area right now. But very cool view over in the Warrenton area. And this is over at 70 at TR Hughes. And you can see the storms are making its way down Highway 70 here. So far, everything's okay. Damage reports have remained light right now. So not really seeing a whole lot of damage. It looks like a couple of trees down in Warrenton. So it looks like we're starting to hear some damage in the Warrenton area. So hopefully everybody was okay and took action with these warnings. So let me change. We're going to change to Warrenton. I know, everybody. So let's take a look here. I thought we had a good view. And I'm trying to see if there's, I think 64 might have one. I'm just trying to get a good visual of this storm, everybody. So we just have to move the camera around. But if you're just tuning in, no tornado warnings. Everything's good. Everything's good. Yeah, so we have another visual of the storms coming here. That's 64 at 364. So, yes, the storm is coming in right down Highway 70. It's going to bring 60-mile-per-hour winds with it. And we are starting to close the windows as it starts to get close to the studio. So, we are closing our windows. And you guys should be staying away from windows like us as well. So, no tornado possible with this. No hail. Only wind. Only wind, okay? Yes, I do. I do appreciate everybody for the 1,200 followers. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. It's a great birthday present. Not sure if you guys planned that, but I do appreciate that. So we're still watching the northern half and the southern half of the storm near to Ellsbury, Winfield, Batchtown. But like I said, it's only for 60-mile-per-hour winds, not really seeing any hail with this. And there's a lot of storms out in front right now, but currently not severe. And we're also not hearing of any potential warning for this right now. Thank you, Dawn. I really do appreciate that. Did you post the new warning for the St. Louis County one? Oh, can you post that real quick? If you can find it. Yeah, just make sure all the new warnings that come in, if you can post. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, here's the storm coming in, marching its way down Highway 70. And it's bringing a weather marching band as well, featuring thunder. So it's bringing its own percussion ensemble with drums. We have to go to You have to do like NWS, like severe T-storm, to find it. So they are marching down. You can see here on the cameras. We're going to keep it down below, but a nice wall of rain. Like I said, there's no severe thunderstorm. I There is a severe thunderstorm. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning. But there is no tornado warning is what I'm trying to say. I'm not quite sure why I had that. I promise everyone I have nothing. I have nothing. I can't. I have not had any alcoholic beverage. I know it might have seemed like it, but I'm just monitoring. The 6 screens are getting me very, very busy right now. So lots of screens here. So I do apologize. Not quite sure what you guys just witnessed there. So you can just wait for the new one, but it's right here. Yeah. So we're still watching this storm. You can see still moving through here. This is that TR Hughes, if you're not familiar. But still producing up to 60-mile-per-hour winds. We still have a warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds, and we have not forgotten about you up here near Foley and Winfield. We have not forgotten about you. I think we have a separate storm over our apartment right now. Yes, we do. So, yeah, lots of storms out in front of it. Lots of storms out in front of it right now. Dawn says, you are doing a great job. Thanks for the coverage. Oh, you're very welcome. Yeah, normally, unless we have, unless my day job gets in the way of it, we're usually about 95% of the time always live for the severe weather events. So you can always count on us for a live analysis. I just don't see any benefit of posting updates, like readable updates. I don't see any benefit. Like, you need real-time information. Like, every second counts. Every second something changes. So that is one reason why we provide the live stream. So this storm is still marching its way down. Looks like Ashley says very heavy rain in Wentzville. It's coming into the O'Fallon, Brussels, the Winfield, Batchtown, Star City on the Illinois side. All those places it's coming through right now. So make sure inside and away from windows. And look how bouncy this camera is getting. So there's still gusty winds with this right now. So we are currently monitoring. This is the storm that's coming out towards the west, not in front of it. Want to make sure we are clear about that. That is not the storms that are in front. So we're playing storm chasing with the camera. So give me one moment so I can keep moving the cameras up. But it's hard to really, see because there's so much in front of it. We're not really going to have too much of a visual at this point. So all the storms in front of this severe warning are currently non-severe. So these warnings currently in front of the storms, as I show you here on the radar, over here downtown St. Louis, moving to Illinois, are currently no factor. They are not a factor to us right now. Once again, I really do appreciate all the follows. That really means a lot to me. So it's coming right down O'Fallon, coming right through Hardin, on O'Fallon, in the Illinois side, Batchtown, Foley. But good news is we're not seeing any rotation. There's no tornado possible tag. In my opinion, I really didn't see a tornado threat in the first place. That's kind of why I didn't talk about it today. Is because I didn't really see a tornado being likely. And I really don't want to scare you if I really don't think it's going to happen. So there is that. Whoa, I just seen your picture, John. I can't pull it up because it's coming through the text, but if you can send it on Facebook, that's another good view right there. Yeah, here's the storm making its way into the St. Charles area. So it looks like we're getting just slightly below severe thunderstorm criteria. So we're getting 53-mile-per-hour wind gusts over in the Winfield area. Really need to be about 55, 60 to keep the warning. So we'll see how that goes. Also just got a 43-mile-per-hour wind gust at the St. Charles County EOC. So, like I said, nothing severe. Not what we once saw, like the 60, 70 mile per hour winds. So it's more looking about 40 to 55 mile per hour. I appreciate all the photos today. Nice views earlier at the shelf cloud. Very nice. But it's moving right along. It's continuing to move right along. In my personal opinion, do I see a downstream warning being issued with this? Not too sure. I kind of don't think so, but we'll just have to monitor, see what they think. But I personally, unless this starts to gain a little bit more strength, maybe they might keep one. But the wind department has calmed down a little bit. But lots of storms bubbling up over the downtown St. Louis area. So, regardless if they're not severe, they're producing a lot of heavy rainfall. They're moving fairly quickly, which could help the flooding threat, but some quick flash flooding can't be ruled out. Let's see if I can try to get all the cameras. There's really not a good view at this point because there's just so much convection, a lot of storms out in front of it. We can't really get a idea of what this main line is doing. But you can see here right at TR Hughes, it's still pretty gusty out there. You can see gusty winds. Camera is rocking still. And make sure you're taking it slow if you have to be out and about. Here's the picture from Mr. John Durbin. And I'm pretty sure he put most of the grass in there on purpose because he's lawn landscaper. But look at the shelf cloud. You can see up here towards the top here, right of the left pillar, there's a shelf cloud. So those are where you see the most gusty part of the winds and the shelf cloud. So that's where most of the wind is, and then you usually just have all the rain behind it. So, but so far looking pretty good. Illinois side up north, near Batchtown, Rosedale, Star City, Hardin, still looking okay. Everybody's looking okay. It's very busy, but we're looking okay. Some new gusty winds have just popped up near by the St. Luke's Hospital. About 40, almost 50 mile per hour winds with this little baby storm that has popped up here. So there's some more gusty winds. We're gonna see if we can get a visual on there. That's going to be right at 141. That's at 64 at 141. And of course, the camera is broken. But here is that storm that we are just talking about. That I just posted or just said that there is about up to near 50 mile per hour winds. And the camera is still there. The camera is working. So you can see how heavy the rainfall is. But nothing severe at the current moment. So we're still getting reports of, just got a report of 45-mile-per-hour winds in Darling Prairie at 364, at 64. So, and here is proof that the camera is working. There's the headlight, so you can see how heavy the storm is right now. So, new warning. They did decide to go ahead with this for Jerseyville, Carrollton, everywhere along 67 here. Everywhere along 67 near the Brighton, Jerseyville, Kane, Carrollton, and the Illinois side. So starting to move into the Illinois side here. And this is just for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Once again, we're not seeing any hail with this. Hey everyone, tell me you're in Missouri without telling me you're Missouri. Here, let me find the camera. Oh, I can't find it. Oh, I gotta switch it. So hold on. Had to switch it, but tell me you're in Missouri without telling me you're in Missouri. Sorry, everybody. Look at this. There's the sun. The sun's starting to set there. At the same time that we just had, severe thunderstorm warning. So, there you go. Classic Missouri. Right there. Yes, you can post that. So, look at that camera and tell me you're not in Missouri without tell me that you're in Missouri without telling me you're in Missouri. Still watching that storm that's right over 141. The camera's currently out right now. So that's why we don't have it right at 141. But it's very gusty. Very, very gusty there. And that's going to be tracking off towards the Creve Coeur area. But it's currently just east of the St. Luke's Hospital. So still have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Just got the new one up for Jerseyville, Carrollton, Greenfield, Otterville, Kane, and all those places over there. So if you know anybody over there, make sure you let them know. 60-mile-per-hour winds. Very, very heavy rain is coming to the area. So luckily, nothing too crazy has been happening. We had some damage over in Warrenton. So, or it looks like we just got a new report from Wright City. Multiple trees are down over there. So, update from the National Weather Service was take a listen here. Says we still see this line as the main threat for damaging winds. All this and the severe thunderstorm warning. And that's what prompted severe warnings. There are other cells ahead of it, which has occasionally shown local downburst signatures, but the main threat is with the line moving across the Mississippi and Illinois River right now, as well as through the urban core of St. Charles County. So there could be some gusting winds out in front of it, but that is not the main concern right now. And we're also watching the backside of the storms here. Nothing interesting, but we're monitoring just in case. But I do believe the main part of the situation is right over St. Charles County right now. St. Charles County up near Lincoln and Jersey. So those are the areas that we are monitoring. So if you're anywhere in the severe thunderstorm warning box, I would just pay attention just a little bit longer and we'll be okay. Yeah, it's very loud out here. Trying to get I can't get the camera switched because it won't let me switch it around. So Fortunately, that is, yeah, it's working, but it's just not possible to see full screen like I would like it. So in Lincoln County, we did get some power lines down at 47, Highway 47 over here. Looks like and W, so 47 and W is where we have some power lines down. Yeah, still seeing some strong winds coming right down 70 towards the St. Louis County area. So it's about to get gusty in a little bit. Along with all the storms out in front of it. Very messy out in front of it. Which is probably helping out the situation right now. Let me see. Let me see if it opens anything. Not quite sure if you sent a video, but it did not go through over there, John. Yeah, the winds are, it's coming through. It's right over St. Charles area. Let's see. Try to get it down 70 again. And it looks like, is that a crash that we have? Currently getting the cameras changed. It is starting to get dark outside, so we're not going to have great visuals here. So I'm just trying to get the cameras moved around, but the storm, the gusty winds, the 60-mile-per-hour winds are coming through the St. Louis County area and crossing the river now into Jersey County. Ethan says I'm door dashing in Arnold, Imperial. Am I okay? You have a storm just around the Arnold area, but the main severe weather threat is to your north. So right now, you're okay. Right now, there is nothing to worry about. Alrighty, let's take a look. This is over here at 270 in Ladue. This is for the storm in front of it. So you can see it's producing heavy rainfall right now. Not seeing the power lines right there shaking too much. So not seeing too much wind with the, the first part of the storm. But let's try to get back on 70. Yeah, and it looks like breaking news, everybody. Is there a second round of storms coming? As of right now, I think so, but I don't believe they're going to be too much severe. There could be some more storms on the backside, but the severity, not really looking too confident right now. We have a nice crash. Well, it's not nice. It's a sad one. But right at 70 at McKinley looking west here. So you see traffic is stopped. Highway most likely might be shut down. And they're about to have a severe thunderstorm coming towards that area. So let's take a look back at radar here. Still having the same warnings. Lots of storms over the St. Louis County and St. Charles area. Starting to get messy right now. Starting to get unorganized. The most organized part looks to be crossing into Jersey County right now. Yeah, it's getting very, very messy, but we are still seeing very strong gusty winds with these storms that are rolling through. So I'm going to change the cameras over a little bit. So the bottom cameras are going to be changing. See if we can get anything going. Yeah, you can see right at the bottom part that we're seeing, yeah, still gusty winds with this. So I think the warning's still acceptable here. Yeah. Here's all the storms at. It's gone wild out there. Some of the cameras are just still not fixed after the earlier storms, I would say. Yeah, this got a looks like a picture of the Waterloo storm, so or the shelf cloud coming into Waterloo. I wish I could show that. That is like it is crazy. Fortunately, I can't. But to seeing the pictures coming out from there. So we're gonna try to get one on 141. Yeah, it's getting very windy there. Look at this view right here. If we can, oh, I don't think it's on. Yeah, so here's 70 at McDonald Boulevard. That's that storm over that's starting to make its way through. So let me see if I can get this over here. And this is at 70 at 94, which when it updates, still seeing gusty winds. So this camera is still going crazy. And we still had that crash at McKinley. So we're just looking at the cameras around town. And here's the camera wall. So that's a look around the area at the moment. We're going to see if we can get camera 5 up there. We need to get camera 5 on 141. So look at this, everyone. You can see it out there. Look at that. I don't think it's a wall cloud, but it looks very close to one. Let's see. Yeah, look out there in the distance. You see that way out there? You almost need binoculars. It has to be very small on your screen. But nice little lowering that's out there. 60-mile-per-hour winds have been observed by trained weather spotters. So, still producing 60-mile-per-hour winds moving east at 45. We just got an update from trained weather spotters. 60-mile-per-hour winds have been reported. The one up near Jerseyville still radar indicated for 60-mile-per-hour winds. So that was a nice view of that coming in. But look at the camera downstairs at 70 and 94. It is rockabye baby. It's gonna put you to sleep. Let's take a look here. So these storms are continuing to move east. We just got a new report of 60-mile-per-hour winds coming through. 60-mile-per-hour winds are coming through the area. Not quite looking like 60-mile-per-hour winds, at least through the cameras, in my opinion. But we're really seeing some heavy rainfall. Very heavy, loud rainfall here. Especially at the 270-64 interchange. Have some gusty winds starting to pop up here. Up near the Jerseyville, haven't really been impressed by that right now. That's why I haven't really been looking at that. This warning expires in 9 minutes. Not quite confident that they'll extend it. Not really sure if they're going to extend that warning. So we'll have to see. Okay, so the 63 mile per hour wind gust was reported just like north, basically the Newtown area. So we did just get a wind report of 63 miles per hour. This was about 9 minutes ago. Or let's see exactly when that was. 11 minutes ago. Backyard weather station in Newtown measured 63 miles per hour. So still very gusty moving through. Almost done. We're almost done, everybody. We're almost done. This activity out in Illinois, I think, is helping out here. So it is raining here at the studio. I wish I have to figure out why it's not, working here. I have to work on that. But yeah, it's very, very gusty around town, very strong. Look at this camera here at McDonald Boulevard. Not quite sure if you can see it very closely, but you can see the rain curtains. You can see the rain curtains on the screen, so it is showing gusty winds here. So still seeing some strong winds being reported and being shown on the radar. So they might continue this just because we have some reports, but here is a visual for you. If you guys are not looking out the window, this is basically what's happening. This is at McDonald Boulevard. It is doing fairly amount of stuff here at the studio. Not quite sure if I said this already, but 2 utility poles snapped in half and laying in the road and for Stell. So a lot of few, not a lot of reports, but a couple of reports to indicate that we had some strong damaging winds before it looks like they somewhat died down by the time they got to our area. Yeah, right along north of, almost right over Mercy Hospital right now. Radar's picking up. Well, with the new update near Conway Road, we're getting some velocities up near 50 miles per hour. And also near Old Jamestown, near the Florissant, Cross Keys off of New Halls Ferry Road, north of 67. So north of 67, we're also seeing some gusty winds. Do think there is additional showers and thunderstorms possible, but I don't see the severe weather being likely. So there you go. That is the live look out there. Here, back to the radar. We still have these 2 warnings in place. Only 6 minutes left on St. Louis County, St. Charles storm, and we have about 20 minutes left on the Jersey County. Yeah, seeing very strong winds right between Portage de Sioux and Florissant. Right along here. See those bright pinks right there? There, believe it or not, if you guys are not aware, there is a mini cruise ship. The American Cruise Line, they are actually docked in Alton right now. So it's going to be headed towards their way. Not quite sure if they're underway or if they have left there. But if you have not heard, it is a cruise port for the river cruises. Not sponsored, but I just think it's pretty cool. So it's headed towards right there. Latest indications show that they're still there. So hopefully the cruise passengers have had a nice excursion. And we just got a new warning coming in. It's going to continue this whole box right here. It's gonna continue east of this one over St. Louis County. It's gonna go like right over here. So some type of warning like this is about to be issued any moment now. So new severe thunderstorm warning is going to be for Jersey County, Madison, Illinois, St. Charles, Missouri, St. Charles County, St. Clair County, St. Louis City, and St. Louis proper, St. Louis City. So when it loads, it'll probably pop in here any moment. And there we go. There's the new warning here. So, like I said, it's still only indicated for 60-mile-per-hour winds. 60-mile-per-hour winds coming over to you, Tasha. Not seeing any hail with this right now. So that's the good thing. Not seeing any hail, but it is very loud. It is very gusty. Let's see if we have gotten any. Looks like we got about a 38-mile-per-hour wind gust. So, not the quite 60 that we're seeing. The main area of concern here for the winds is just right near Florissant. We don't have a camera over in this area, but it's right near the Florissant. Get you guys a little bit of area. Over the Applebee's on 67, the Walmart Supercenter on 67, the Chili's on Newhalls Ferry, the Snooks that is over there off in Lindbergh, and the little cul-de-sac area. The Cross Keys Apartments, Sunland Hills. Okay, we just got to update the Hazelwood Central Middle School, Country Club Court, Old Halls Ferry, Old Country Estates. That is where it's heavy right there. That's where we're seeing the intense amount of winds. And it's headed over right near Route 94. That's over near Portage de Sioux. Headed east towards the Alton area. So east towards the Alton area. And we actually got a visual on it. Not quite sure if the... Yeah, you can see a little bit of the cruise ship out there. But this is over. You can't see me, but this is over. No tornado. No tornado. We're not expecting any tornadoes, Tasha. This is over in the Alton area. This is provided by the city of Alton. So you can view this on YouTube on the city of Alton's page here, but you can see a little bit at the top, right? Look where the bridge is. You see the bridge is right above that. All those bubbly clouds right there. That is your shelf cloud right there. So all those that the wind that I was showing you on the radar is right there. So that is what we're seeing, in person, I should say, compared to the radar I was showing you moments ago. So that is what it looks like. Cruise ship is way, you can't really see it in this video. As you can see, the towboat and the barge coming across here. So let's take a live look back at the radar. Yeah, still strong. Maybe a little bit of pockets of gusty winds moving by the Ruth Park Golf Course and the Olive Supermarket on Olive Boulevard. So it looks like they're just pockets of heavy wind is what we're seeing. So still kind of a severe thunderstorm watch towards the all over the south here, but not too much activity going on up there. Up near the Jerseyville area, heavy rain, gusty winds, lightning, seeing some gusty winds up about 40 miles per hour. But the main area is right here that's headed towards Alton. Right towards the Alton, Old Jamestown area. So Just for my curiosity, it looks like no matter it's severe thunderstorm or not, it looks like full operations on the river. We don't have too many cameras out there in the Illinois side, so that's why we haven't switched any of it. But still, 60-mile-per-hour winds, radar indicated. Darla says your wind chimes are going crazy. Yeah, you guys just it's the heavy part of the wind is right near the Florissant, Spanish Lake, Old Jamestown, West Alton, east of Portage de Sioux, headed across the river. So it's headed right towards this camera right now. So you can see a little bit of lightning off in the distance, but we're seeing decent amount of wind here, headed straight towards the Alton area. Still receiving tree reports from Northwest Warrenton. So, couple of tree damage, more of tree limbs being reported down. Yeah, especially over the Great River Road, right over the river road is where we're seeing very gusty winds. And we can actually put this Alton camera, we'll put it in slot 3 so you guys can monitor it. So there we go, it's in the bottom right hand corner. So let's see, that was the chair making noises like it likes to do. I need to get a new chair actually. This chair is ready to retire. Yeah, still strong winds right over the Great River Road. About, about 53, 54 miles per hour. But it's mainly heading towards our Illinois counties over here. Yeah, so it looks, the National Weather Service has also agreed that the wind is more sporadic than widespread at this moment. But regardless, heavy rain is around the area, so. Oh, there's that report right at W up here, so. Now we seen that. So still have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, one for Jerseyville County and one for a whole bunch of counties that we have. St. Louis City, a little bit of St. Louis County has been trimmed, but we have Madison, St. Clair, all in the warnings as well. And it's only for 60-mile-per-hour winds, radar indicated. And it's not for everybody. Like right near the Alton area, just northwest of the Alton, or North Alton, I should say, along Highway 3. We're really seeing the heavy winds right now. So, where those brighter reds, you see those brighter reds up there on the radar, this area that I have highlighted, starting to pick up in Jerseyville. We'll show you that in just a second. But this area is where I'm watching right here for the main concern of damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. And up here near Jerseyville, but it's more about 40, but still enough to bring some tree limbs down. So it's getting ready to cross out of Missouri. It's getting ready to cross out of Missouri. So nothing to worry about there. We still have storms on the backside, but I'm not really expecting anything severe out of that. But we're still monitoring the radar. We're still here, not seeing anything rotating. No tornadoes. Like I mentioned before, there was a tornado outlook. I will be honest with you. There was a tornado outlook, and we did not really mention it because we really did not see much of it happening. And you can see we did not get a single tornado warning. So Lauren says, thank you. You're welcome. Glad to see you, Lauren. Welcome. Hope all is well. Hope everything is going all right. We are just monitoring these severe thunderstorm warnings, make sure everybody's okay. Yeah. Like I said, this is the area that needs to watch. Right just about Godfrey Upper Alton. Let's see what the camera's looking like here. Yeah, it's coming in towards the Alton area. You can once see the bridge, and now you cannot see the bridge. The bridge that crosses over into Illinois and Missouri right there along 367, if you're familiar with that area. Vicky says, thank you for your updates. You're very welcome. But this is in Alton, provided by the city of Alton. So we appreciate them. And you can check them out on YouTube at the city of Alton to view this camera. But if you're just tuning in, not too long ago, we were able to see the bridge out there along 367 that you cross over. And now it has gone away. It's still there, by the way. But we just can't see it in the camera. The bridge did not come crashing down. It's still there. It's still travelable. So, but it is very, very rain covered of the camera. And this is looking towards the bridge, 67, 367. Right along there is where it's looking at. And like I mentioned earlier before, believe it or not, there's a little river cruise ship that's taking on the storm over there. So hopefully they're okay. Make sure they're still getting their money's worth on their cruise. Cruise through the river, that'll probably be pretty interesting, actually. Very scenic if you like nature, visit all those small towns. So yeah, this is where I'm watching. Let me take a look at the other areas. Some areas near the just north of the Waterloo area, around 47 miles per hour indicate on the radar. But you can see the line here. And brighter the red, stronger the winds. Brighter the red, stronger the wind. So you can see right around here, brighter the reds. And reds are moving away. So reds move away from the radar, green move towards the radar. So these are all outbound winds. So you can see if we put it in motion, the winds are holding steady. I don't think there's severe warning criteria, but National Weather Service is keeping the warning on them. So you can see right around the Godfrey area, between Godfrey and Upper Alton, it's about 53 miles per hour here. And then once we go towards the south, so they just readjusted the warning, still for 60 mile per hour winds. Yeah, down towards the southern end of the warning, not really seeing too much. We had a new update here in the velocities. Right at almost 60 miles per hour moving through the Godfrey area. So if you know anybody in the Godfrey, I would just check on them, make sure everything is okay up there, make sure they have power. And here's a live look back at the Alton camera. Having a lot of lightning right now. The gusty winds look to move through already. Looks like they're nearing the end of it. You can see the camera starting to come into view. We can see a lot more than we have in the last little bit. So it's continuing to move out. It's basically almost out of Missouri. It's almost out of Missouri here. So that's looking at the Alton provided by the city of Alton. And we still have storms, which I'm not too happy about going into my birthday weekend. So Not too happy about that, but still have storm possibilities overnight and into Saturday. But Sunday looks to be okay. Let's hope Sunday's okay for my birthday. But it looks like Saturday we could still have a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Yeah, look at this. If there's anybody that we have in the Fosterburg, Dorsey area, I would. That's where we see the strongest part of the winds right now. And some gusty winds. We can't forget about our folks down here near the Lynchburg, Red Bud. But currently not severe, but it will be loud. But I don't think too much since we did have some storms earlier today. Yeah, so National Weather Service just put out an update. I think they're watching my stream that they're watching this east of Godfrey area. So this is the strongest part right here. You can see some of the velocity pixels up at 2,000 feet headed towards Fosterburg is at about 53 miles per hour. So it is pretty gusty up there, but everywhere else looks like, just your typical thunderstorms. They're just loud, nothing scary. Maybe a little bit of gusty winds, but that's about it. Yeah, very excited, everyone, that we hit. What was that? 1,200 followers. So that's very nice. And we didn't get too much damage. It looks like everybody is okay. Not hearing a whole lot. Real quickly, while we have a quick moment, I want to check the power outages, see what the power outage map is looking like. And that is what we like to see. It was not like that the last time. Look at the power outage map here when I pull it up. See the power outage map if the computer if Windows acts like Windows. So let's see if we can get this back here. Okay, let's go to, hold on everybody. I broke the map. We'll get it back online. Just let's see what it looks like. Okay, outages. Here's the outage map. Oh, we have to zoom in because it's so tiny. So there we go. That is what we like to see. We did not see that the last event. So we have about 2,400 people exactly, which is interesting and unique. That is an even amount. And Illinois, and in Missouri it's 5,437. So that is what we like to see. Not a lot of power outages there, so. Unlike the last storm where we had, I think, almost like 60,000 power outages, I believe. So, and it looks like we have a new subscriber on YouTube. Oh, wait. One thing is, as well, everyone, is that on the Facebook side, on the YouTube side, the latency, if you don't know what the latency is like from when I talk from my studio and it goes through your screen, the latency is very quick compared to Facebook. Says steady rain now at our house. The thunder was impressive for a while. Oh yes, the thunder was going crazy, but most of it's in the Illinois side right now. So it's moving east at 50 miles per hour. So east at 50 miles per hour. That's pretty fast. And you see it is getting some more convection towards the south here near the Festus area, Peefly, but nothing severe right now. So it looks like they dropped the warning up in Jerseyville. I expected that, but look right here over the Fosterburg. Really intensifying winds right here. Head towards just south of Brighton, but head towards it looks like almost the Bunker Hill. Hunker, not Bill, Hill, Hill. Excuse me. Right near Illinois, Route 159. 159 is between Bethalto and Bunker Hill. So if you live anywhere over there or you happen to know anybody that lives over there, that's where it's going. But they did allow the Jerseyville storm to expire. So we're only left with one for the far western side of Illinois, closest to downtown, is the only warning that we have. And look, everyone, the bridge came back. The view has came back. So that let us know that the storms are, working out okay. The storms is working okay. So everybody's doing okay. Yeah, the strongest part is near Fosterburg and Bethalto. So starting to quiet down here, which is good. We appreciate that. So starting to quiet down. Not really too much going on here. Waiting for the warning go out of the coverage area, and then we'll probably wrap up the live stream here, as it is getting pretty late here. And I have to order my groceries. So, any grocery suggestions for the people that are still here? Not quite sure how many people we have left here. But any groceries? Not for you, for me, but any suggestions? Wouldn't that be nice if I just had a lot of money and bought everybody groceries? Everybody who's tuned into live stream gets free groceries. But you'll have a limit, okay? Limit per house. Sharon says it's starting to fire up down in Lynchburg. Yeah, we're watching it down there. Looks like the gusty, nothing severe, but it looks like the strongest part of the winds are just south of you right now. So the strongest part, let's see what they're picking up here. About 50 miles per hour. But it looks like it's to the south. And let's see which way it's moving. Yeah, it looks like it's just barely passing you right now. Looks like it's just passing you. So everybody is looking okay right now. So we're still going to stay here while we have the warning, because that's what we do here. But more storms are possible tomorrow. More storms are possible tomorrow, and believe it or not, we do have another severe weather risk tomorrow. So that is, if you haven't heard already, we do have another severe weather outlook, and I'll show you real quick on top of the radar. So this is today's risk here. You can see we still have the 2 out of 5, and then tomorrow, just about I-70 still. It's mainly towards the south here near Potosi, Redbud, Nashville, Lynchburg. And then a 2 out of 5 for severe weather, and then a 1 out of 5 for most of the area, Union, Warrenton, Wentzville, places like that. Yeah, it looks like you'll be okay And it looks like tomorrow does not currently have a tornado outlook. Wind, looks like wind is going to be the main threat tomorrow as well, so that's good. So we'll be monitoring it tomorrow over my birthday weekend. I am watching the storm that is starting to blow up a little bit near the Columbia Millstadt area. Yeah, still producing strong winds going over to Glen Carbon, Edwardsville, Badalto, Wood River area. Still seeing some strong winds over in that area. Not quite sure if we have any followers over there. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yes, my birthday is on Sunday. And earlier I said, you guys will be aware. You guys will know that it's my birthday. So, for the couple people who are here, and I'm still trying to think about dinner suggestions, what food I want to have. So, if you know anything or if you have any suggestions, let me know in the chat. But don't give me like McDonald's, Jack in the Box. Like, not that. So let's take a look back at the Alton camera because in the lightning, it does look like we could see, looks like the backside of those storms probably is what we're seeing in the lightning there. Let's see, we're having Cafe Nova. I'm gonna have to look that up. I have not heard of that place. Brittany says we will be traveling down the 55. We'll be traveling down 55, heading to Gulf Shores for my birthday. Oh, that's nice. And with all the torrential flooding in southern southeastern Missouri, have you heard of any traveling issues near 55? As far as I know, I have not. I have not heard anything about 55, but I know around like Highway 67 near Fredericktown have a couple closures around there. But while we are on the live stream and we're also monitoring here, we'll see. Yeah, not seeing any closures on 55. So it's mainly around like the south of Farmington, Ironton, where we're seeing the reported closures. So yeah, we're not seeing anything, so I think you'll be okay. But not sure when you're leaving because tomorrow there is a severe weather outlook. Like there's a severe weather risk all the way down like through Memphis. So like a good portion of 55. So not sure when you are going, but there is severe weather chance down in that area. A little bit higher threat, mainly just wind. For the few people that are here, we are seeing some redevelopment out to the west. That's going to continue overnight. So that's going, no concern there. Sarah says, it's so yummy, recommend. Let's see, Cafe Nova. Where is that? Oh, it's off Kings Highway. Says you're leaving at 6:30 tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. You'll encounter some showers and thunderstorms. Let's pull up, just for you, Brittany, we'll pull up the model page so we can figure that out here. So let's get here. Let's pull up the page. Finally got some rain, Mike. Looks like you guys had a decent amount today from what it looked like, at least on radar. Looks like you got some morning rain, afternoon, and evening. So let's take a look here. Model guidance is horrible, but because the lack of resources that we have for the models. But let's take a look here. So, we have these storms coming through, and it looks like we'll have some more rain overnight. So, Here's about 6 a.m. We could have some showers and thunderstorms. And as we get into the afternoon, we could have some severe 1 or 2, mainly damaging winds, but not overly confident in that. So, still have some rain out there during your travel. Thank you, Summer, for the follow. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Looks like we got a new hail report from Belleville. Wait, no, wait. Hey, everyone, I wish you could see this. I don't know how we can do this, but we just got a. I'm not quite sure what happened here, but we just got a freezing rain report. You can't see it. You can't see it, but someone from 1 mile south Swansea and St. Clair reported 2.6 inches of freezing rain. I think they just clicked the wrong box, but kind of funny. I don't think we're in freezing temperatures. The temperature currently outside is 72 degrees, so not quite sure what happened there. But there's your laugh of the day. Freezing rain report. I know the National Weather Service is going crazy about that. Yeah, so looks like they're not going to continue the severe thunderstorm watch out east, so that is good. Oh, you're very welcome, Brittany, and I hope you have fun in Gulf Shores. I have been there multiple times, and it's always great. It's always nice. Not quite sure how the weather is going to be down there. And believe it or not, there's actually live cameras. I always look at these all the times. This is from the Alabama Weather Network, and not sure if you're still here, but there's the live view. Everybody's looking for, what is those? The crabs. Oh, you guys go every year? Yeah, we try to go every year, but we're switching it up a little bit. But you can see a lot of people down there. This is looking at the view from the Alabama Weather Network from the Phoenix Towers. So, have fun down there. It's currently 84 degrees with 80% humidity, so not much change from the St. Louis area. Just not seeing any wind. So, we're just waiting for this warning to expire, as it is producing heavy wind. Sharon said my niece sent me a picture of her weather app and it said it was 28 degrees outside, so we might have a confirmation on this freezing rain report. Not quite sure where your niece is, but might be near the Swansea area. But yeah, freezing rain 1 mile south of Swansea, Illinois, was reported 5 minutes ago. Doesn't say from who, but it looks like 40 minutes ago. But it's just regular rainfall. Those boxes, when you send a report in, they're fairly close to each other, and you can't really go back after you hit submit because it already populates. But it's pretty funny that we have a freezing rain report. So hopefully everybody's okay. Not seeing any, icing problems. So that is great news. So we're just holding on to this warning until it expires. So we'll wrap up, most likely be wrapping up the live stream about 15 minutes. But once again, everybody who's still here, it's pretty exciting that we hit 1,200 followers. And it's actually, I think the most funniest thing about this, just for the record, is that, my birthday is on the 12th and we're at 1,200. Like, you guys see how that works out? Like, isn't that crazy? So, okay, you said Lindbergh, but her mom lives in Swansea, so I'm not sure if it hasn't changed from when she was there earlier today. Oh, okay. Yeah, 28 degrees. I'm not ready for those days. Not ready for that. Like, very recently, I have been craving fall time. Like chili, football, and it's only July, so. Just all the days recently that have been cloudy, it's almost like just want to wear a sweatshirt and all that kind of stuff. National Weather Service doesn't look like they're very confident that they're going to extend this warning. So, like I said, about 15 minutes or so, we'll wrap up the live stream and call it a day for the live coverage. But glad we're not seeing too many reports of damage. Power issues are okay. So, overall, not too bad for live stream, but we did get a couple warnings. So, we did get a couple warnings. Sorry if you hear that, everybody. Oh, one thing too. Remember, you guys remember? We're just monitoring this warning here. Nothing significant is happening besides heavy wind towards the Warden, eventually getting to Alhambra and east of Edwardsville. But it's like when we went to DC, got this little cool thing. So I'll show you guys it real quick. It's like this thing. So it has all the stuff on it. It has cherry blossom the blossom trees on it. Has the monument on it. So pretty cool. And by the way, I'm not sure if you guys have seen the monument or not, but that thing is tall. And you can pretty much see it from everywhere. So that was pretty cool. That's a random fact. Yeah, it looks like everywhere else is doing okay. Like I said, we're still going to have showers and thunderstorms overnight that are moving from the west. And it's going to be happening, but I'm not expecting anything severe. And the warning goes until midnight. Might get shaved off a little bit earlier. But everything's doing okay. I hear the planes up ahead, so it sounds like Lambert's back in business. So that is great news. Probably dodging the storms out east. And they just corrected that rain report. So they correct the freezing rain report to just a regular rain. So that's good that they're able to fix it. So we just got the one warning and the severe thunderstorm watch, but even though most of us are still in a severe thunderstorm watch, not really too concerned about it. So. And also, this is not, let's update this. Yeah, so just Madison County right now is in the severe thunderstorm warning. So, but I think we're slowly about to wrap it up. Still going to be loud overnight as we have more storms moving through, but everybody will be okay. Let me just check a couple things. If not, I think we're going to wrap up the live stream as it's starting to move east of the Edwardsville area towards the Highland, but we don't really have a big following out in that area. And the winds, let's see the winds. Yeah, the winds are starting to die down. But I will watch out near the Staunton area. If any place, I will watch the Staunton Mount Olive. Over there, Warden, along I-55 between Staunton and Mount Olive. So those are where I'll be watching. Slowly moving out of our coverage area, but everywhere in Illinois, still seeing showers and thunderstorms, but not seeing anything severe. Not seeing anything that could go severe, but it could be gusty at times. Gusty, and it will remain loud. Maybe a flash flooding threat could be possible as well. So, I think we're going to wrap up the live stream for now. And we did not get a new tornado warning. He just got lonely. So no new tornado warning. No tornado warning was issued at all today. But more storms will be happening overnight tonight and into tomorrow. But it looks like we'll dry out by the time we get to my birthday on Sunday. So I think we're going to wrap up the live stream for now. I know you guys want me to stay on. I know. I think we're going to wrap up the live streams. There's just not much going on that's severe right now. So we're going to wrap it up. And we will see you in our next update right here on Team Kenny Weather.